Varney was one of the biggest cheerleaders for Donald Trump's tax bill, and without skipping a beat, now he's deficit scaremongering.
All right, our next guest says our national debt is a threat to national security. Plain and simple. Joining us now, Andy Biggs. He's a Republican congressman from Arizona. Congressman, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us, sir.
Good to be with you, Stuart.
Now, several guests on this program have said, look, the national debt is going to create a debt bomb explosion, which will wreck our financial system. Is that your line of thinking?
Yes, it is. I think we're headed over the edge. You know, think of it as a waterfall. We're in the boat, and now we're almost to the point where we can't get out of the flow. We're heading over unless we do something immediately.
When do you think the debt bomb may explode if nothing is done?
Well, I think since the Medicare trust fund is going to be defunct in about 8 years, you're looking about an 8 to 10 year period of time that we have to get this thing fixed.
You see, that's always the problem, isn't it? It's always off in the future.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we see this terrible thing coming, but it's off in the future. So there's always a tendency to put it off. Don't do anything about it, because you want to do something about it. It will cause pain right now, and no politician wants to inflict pain right now. They just don't want to do that.
That's right. It's a path-dependent approach. We're on the suboptimum path. We know we are, but to exit that path and get on an optimal path is short-term pain, just as you say. And so they view it as too high of a political cost. But if we don't, every day that we delay, we drop off some options that we might have to fix this problem and get our deficit back. That's what the real issue is. We have a structural deficit. We spend more than we bring in, so we borrow all that money.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, we've got a 3.8% unemployment rate, historically low, a booming economy, and yet we've got, what, an $800 billion deficit. But in simple terms, just tell us what you would do. I mean, it's a huge problem. What would you do about it now?
Well, the first thing you do is I would do a bigger rescission package. We're doing $15 billion rescission package off a $1.3 trillion omnibus bill when we should have spent about $700 billion in that omnibus bill instead of $1.3 trillion.
You don't have the votes, Congressman. They're not there.
Well, I can't help that, because it gets to the point that you and I were just talking about. Yeah, my colleagues don't want to inflict short-term pain, which is to say we can't continue funding these programs. That's the immediate short-term answer, is to say let's get our budget under a balanced form for the first time since 1997. Why don't we do that?
They really took the mask off there and let you know what their priorities are, because they even frame it as, well, what we have to do is inflict pain. What do you mean? We have the debt, we got the deficit, huge problems. We got to inflict pain. That's what we have to do. So what they mean by inflict pain is we got to massively, massively cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's what they mean by inflict pain. Now, notice they're so concerned about the debt and the deficit in the context of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So programs for you, we can't afford it. Did they say the same thing when it came to Donald Trump's tax bill, which blew over $1 trillion hole in the deficit? Did they say that? No. They were totally fine with it. Totally fine with deficit spending and adding to the debt to give a massive tax cut to the rich. By the way, 83% of the benefits of Trump's tax cut goes to the top 1%. So it guts the estate tax, it guts the corporate tax rate, which is already at a historical low point. So when it came to cutting taxes for corporations and elites, he was enthusiastically for it, this congressperson and Stuart Varney. But now, when it comes to looking at the debt and the deficit, they act like that debate never happened about the tax cut. And now all of a sudden it's, we got to inflict short-term pain, on you by cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. So these guys are, they're loathsome. That's what they are. And they will only ever discuss cutting the debt and the deficit in the context of cutting programs that help regular people. They will never, ever, 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 ever talk about cutting the debt and the deficit in the framework of cutting the military-industrial complex. We just did a segment the other week, Stuart Varney talking about how we need to increase military spending, even though we spend more than the next 9 biggest nations combined, and most of them are our fucking allies. So they'll never talk about lowering the debt and the deficit in the context of decreasing military spending, decreasing corporate welfare, increasing taxes on the rich. Never, ever, ever. It will only be discussed in the context of cutting programs that help you. And what's so sad is Fox News really does get many regular people to vote against their own interests and be in favor of things that are against their own interests. And they don't even realize it up front, but later on, they might realize, oh shit, we've been bamboozled. That's what just happened. Especially when Trump's tax bill, as soon as it starts raising taxes on everybody making $75,000 a year or less, they'll be like, what the fuck is happening here? Because, of course, the tax cuts for the rich are permanent, and all the tax cuts that initially help middle-class people, temporary. So they don't care about you. They don't care about regular people. Fox Business and CNBC and Fox News, they're nothing but mouthpieces for corporate America and the rich.